What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about Paris once again. I know yesterday's video was a little bit doomier, a little bit gloomier, a little bit more kind of bad news with some good news wrapped in. I don't ever want to just talk bad or good because I always do think there is both bad and good in every situation in the market. I definitely want to hit on both sides, but today I want to talk more about the positive side of Paris, the reason why I think people should probably not be panicking, the reason why I think people should probably be relaxing, and why at the end of the day I am still loading money into Paris in both capsules and in team hollows, and why I think that overall Paris will still be a good investment and still a money making opportunity. Now, can I guarantee that? No. Do I know the time span of what this is going to be? Absolutely not. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and obviously if I believe in this, then yeah, I mean, that's why I'm willing to talk about this and stuff, even though there are definitely some downsides and negatives. But first, before we get into that real quick, I just wanted to plug my cash trading business. I know I've been doing this in all the videos, but we're going to continue to do this until we finally get some sponsors up in this channel. So this is your opportunity if you're looking to turn your CS items, skins, stickers, whatever into cold hard cash or crypto or PayPal, Zelle, whatever. You can hit me up and we can try and get a deal done. I'm looking to buy most things for around 90% buff, which is an opportunity obviously for you to actually cash out in a safe, quick, and efficient way. Obviously, there's a lot of shady stuff out there, scammers, that type of stuff. But obviously, I have a reputation, I have a YouTube channel, I have all this stuff to lose. So you don't have to worry about any of that. And I've done so many successful trades so far, around like $3,000 in trades or something like that. I usually post them all in this thread. We've gotten all different kinds of items that people have sold to me at all different kinds of prices. Seems like people have been mostly pretty happy so far. We've already had some returning customers. Yeah, it's an awesome way to help support me and my channel. With that being said, let's get right into this. So what I'm talking about today is good news for Paris. Something that I think is good for Paris, and it's a reason why you don't need to panic, because there are so many people, and there have been so many people for the past couple of months that continue to say that Paris is overinvested, that say Paris is RMR 2.0, that Paris is going to be a bad investment. Now, I will say these people get louder, and these people even get more justified as the Paris sale continues to go on, because again, we are now in the longest major sticker sale in Counter-Strike history, CSGO history, whatever you want to call it. And this thing has gone on for a long, long time. And obviously, the longer this sale goes on, the more capsules are going to be sold. The more capsules are going to be sold, the more stickers are going to be on the market. And really, that is going to result in overall lower returns. Now, it doesn't mean low returns, and it doesn't mean no returns, but it just means lower returns than you would have otherwise if there was less capsules out there, or if there was less, stickers or whatever. And obviously, the longer the sale goes on, it gets us closer to the start of CS2, which should be good for a lot of these capsules and stickers and stuff, and they could explode in price, but also gets us closer to maybe, an operation dropping, and maybe the market crashing or dumping off and all this different stuff, or just people overall getting fatigued and maybe moving on to more items. Who knows when CS2 drops, if there's some kind of new case or new skins or all this new stuff, Paris things could be awesome new crafts for a lot of this stuff, but also could just be competing with a lot of this other stuff, because at the end of the day there's only so much money in the market. But what I did find interesting in a really, really recent Nalo video, or Nalo, or however you say it, he had a screenshot that looked like this, or a YouTube search or whatever, Google search that looked like this, where he has Googled that Krakow overinvested in CSGO, and there's this Reddit post saying, hey, Atlanta 2017 was a success, and therefore Krakow is bound to become overinvested. Why did Krakow 17 perform so poorly? And I thought that was really, really interesting, because again, we see a lot of these things right now of people saying, hey, Paris is overinvested, Paris is going to underperform, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out people have been saying this stuff all the way back to 2017, and I'm sure even sooner. Obviously, Reddit and YouTube and social medias and all this stuff for CS investing were much harder to find and everything back then. But if you really go back to look at any of these, I looked up RMR overinvested, and obviously was RMR overinvested? Is RMR a good investment? Will Paris be overinvested? Why are RMRs falling in price? The big problem with Antwerp. We have all these different things. Will RMR go up eventually? Now, obviously, in hindsight, RMR was overinvested. It was an absolute disaster. It didn't turn out as good as a lot of people thought, but if you look back to a lot of these things, like here's the Boom Hollow from 2020 RMR. If you look at the lifetime, this thing eventually was actually able to do decently well. Yes, after the sale and after, all these stickers got opened up and everything, this thing went down to like 5 cents, 6 cents. It went from, around 60 to like 10, and then it just kind of kept going down, and it stayed stagnant for a long, long, long time. But even eventually, years later, it went all the way up to $1.24, and now it's sitting at like 63 cents. So, this thing had an opportunity to like 10x or 5x, depending on when you bought it. Now, hey, I'm not saying that buying RMR stickers and holding them for 3 years was a great idea or anything like that, but it's not like RMR stickers just went to absolute zero and stayed there and were trash. Eventually, they kind of came up. And also the RMR capsules, like RMR Legends, still, even right after the sale, these things were 25 cents or whatever during the sale, still shot up to like 49 cents right after, and you had a chance to double your money if you sold out. Now, obviously, a lot of people were expecting more than doubling their money. They probably held on. They probably went through this whole crash, this whole disaster. They ended up losing. They bought at 25 cents, and then, hey, they end up all the way at 15 cents or whatever. But you did have an opportunity to make some money right away. They did kind of double fast. Then they went back up to 61 cents around the CS2 time, and now today they're at 35 cents. They're still above the 25 cents. And I do think that RMR is the absolute worst case scenario, because if you look at the numbers from back then, RMR, I believe in like the first week or first month, I don't remember which time period, but I believe it was in the first week, they said that RMR sold like 8 million capsules or something like that. And this is in 2020. Obviously, the player base was smaller back then. Investing was not as popular back then. It wasn't as big on the social medias and all that stuff. So, that was just an insane number. And even now, Paris, despite all the hype and all the rage of Paris and all the people saying it's an overinvestment and blah, 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 and the player base being bigger, Paris, I think, had like 2.5 million or like 3 million or something like that. So we're talking about, a third less 3 years later. So if you want to say that Paris is RMR 2.0, the numbers don't even back that up. It doesn't even make sense. And the fact that, hey, Paris looks way, 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 way better. Not only is Paris less supply than RMR overall, it also looks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times better than these RMR stickers. That is definitely going to help. But still, at the end of the day, it was possible to make some kind of okay to small profit on RMR. It was going to be difficult, but it was possible. And that's with a bunch of fundamentals that are terrible. Huge supply and ugly stickers. Paris has a smaller supply, still a big supply, but a smaller supply and way better looking stickers. So really that should mean you have a way better chance of making money. But then again, we have all these other people like, this is about Rio. Rio is a long-term investment. People here saying Rio's giving me RMR flashbacks. We have Antwerp, thoughts on Antwerp investing. Antwerp overinvested. The big problem with Antwerp, will Antwerp be oversupplied? We have Stockholm, I don't think Stockholm 21 stickers are not overinvested. Different people talking about whether they are or aren't. They called Stockholm and Antwerp overinvested as well. So if you look back in the history of things, it turns out that people are not very smart, and you kind of see this all over the place. The average person is pretty dumb. You see this in all kinds of investing, in trading cards and in the stock market and in crypto and in CS investing and just in life in general. And that's what gives people with some drive or some ability or knowledge or intelligence or whatever a chance to have a really, really big edge over a lot of people in a lot of different things and in these markets. And the fact that, hey, people are just overall doomers. People are negative. People kind of suck, and they're losers, and they have just terrible mindsets and attitudes. And people have said time and time again that, this major's going to suck, or this major's overinvested, or blah, 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 blah. But time and time again, many of the majors have done quite well and have actually outperformed many people's expectations. And all these people saying it's overinvested and kind of sitting on the sidelines and waiting it out, that's actually good for all the people that are investing. That ends up being a really, really great thing. And if we look back to, Stockholm and Antwerp and all that stuff, is Paris going to be as good as those? Probably not. Is Paris overinvested compared to those? Yes, absolutely. But again, Stockholm was just absolutely an insane investment. Antwerp was still a very, very crazy investment. If Paris ends up being worse than Stockholm and Antwerp, it still has a ton of room to still be way, way, way worth your time, way, way worth your while. So I don't know. I still think that both stickers and capsules are still an amazing pickup. I don't know exactly what kind of returns are going to be. I don't know exactly what the time frame is going to be. And I don't know how CS2's release being thrown in the middle of all this, how that's going to be a big curveball and wrench. But I just need to tell everybody to relax, calm down. We've literally, again, I haven't been around for all this stuff, but just based on Google searches and what everyone's saying is we see this time and time again with every single major, people panicking, people bringing all the doom and gloom and FUD and all this stupid shit. But overall, every time it seems like the major stickers and capsules come through. So that doesn't mean they have to again this time, but I'm certainly not betting against them, especially not a borderless set that looks as good as Paris, with the player base really set to probably be exploding over the next couple of years. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Who knows? But I'm relaxing. I'm chilling. I'm buying more. I don't really care what anyone's saying. And I don't really think you should either. But pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.